Hi there, welcome to Interview with the Muse. This is a podcast community for artists when curiosity is contraband. The whole point of Interview with the Muse is to alchemize grief, despair, loneliness into solidarity and world making. Today is 4th of July, the Independence Day for the United States of America. I don't personally celebrate, but I'm forced to listen into a bunch of fireworks that are extraordinarily loud pretty much a month before and a month after 4th of July. So, yeah, I can't really hide from it. So, as the animals in the neighborhood continue to be traumatized by loud banging noises, which you will undoubtedly hear during my whole recording of this podcast, because even though it's daytime, people still light the fireworks. Can you tell how much I hate 4th of July? um, but today is also a day that is filled with a lot of like uncertainty and some grief. And I'll be perfectly transparent with you. I am going through the motions and I'm getting through it by being highly caffeinated. Hey, caffeine is my drug of choice. At least it's not alcohol. At least it's not a hard drug. If I'm getting through with coffee, I'm getting through with coffee. So that's where I'm at right now. But I also wanted to remind folks that I have a blog post that I put out earlier this week, and it's all about grief. And one of the reasons why I chose the emotion of grief is because I'm going on a trip to Jamaica pretty soon for a week, and I'm going to be visiting my father's side of the family. And I talk about my experience, just like my journey having lost a parent to extreme violence, and like how it taught me so much about the complexity of grief, and how grief was like this Pandora's box that I was able to open, and that a lot of the time we're taught not to investigate our grief. And I think it's particularly like pertinent right now. For those that don't know, yesterday, I believe it was, the House passed a draconian, what they called Big Beautiful Bill or Reconciliation Bill, but ultimately is a bill that's going to put people into debt. It's going to cut social programs. It's basically defunding care work and funding fascist work. And this is going to make it even more difficult for artists. It's going to make it even more difficult for people that care about liberation, that are extremely empathetic, because it is pushing this really horrible agenda. And it can feel like there's no hope and there's no way to see that there's a way to go forward. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have the answers right now. It's okay for us to just sit for a second and process what just happened. Although we're not super surprised that it happened, it's still a horrible, you know, update. And it's okay to acknowledge that. Simultaneously, some people are celebrating that before we got this news at the federal level, a man named Zohran Mamdani has won the Democratic primary. He is a Democratic socialist representing the DSA, New York chapter. And this win is massive. And I'm going to actually be putting out a blog post about his win and some of the things, just the first beginnings of an investigation into his comm strategy, and particularly his background as an artist, because he comes from a background. Okay, there goes the fireworks if you heard them. His mom is a very amazing, incredible, talented artist. And also he himself was involved in hip hop culture. And I think that gave him a lot of rhetorical skills. But today I want to share the poem that I wrote that was based on the recent prompt that I shared. And the recent prompt was all about personifying the emotion of grief. And so I just took a stab at it, for lack of a better way to describe it. I never liked that phrase, but so my piece is called, which I'm going to include in this post, don't worry. It's called It's Complicated. Grief taps the church stained glass. Look up, she exclaims, smiling sacred. Except her teeth are rotting, gums show. Her world spins slow, confusion haunts her face. Truth is, we'll look away. Grief sobs, whispers goodbye as unarmed vehicles swerve through the arteries of neighborhoods. She's singing to a migrant mother as she's cuffed, roughed up, disappeared. Grief wails guttural. You can fill a cold cell with her yearning. We ritualistically look away or cover our ears. Except not today. Today we watch grief turn a trick, her bruised and blemished legs shimmering sunlight. She sashays like a death wish. Some call her fast. Nobody asks who violated. So she makes snow angels from the ashes of charred forests, paints her lips with loneliness, calls it war paint. Grief misbehaves, never crosses her legs, spits, cusses, twirls. She's unruly. She's a murder of crows perched on a power line. She'll follow you home. You'll lose sleep, grief. Grief floats through our collective dream, a bloom of jellyfish crowding ocean surface. She's the bright pink and the stinging. She's stinging, stinging, stinging. So that was the piece that I wrote, and I hope that the prompt inspired you to write about grief and to personify grief because it is a very complex emotion, but a powerful one. So it was really good talking to you all today. And remember, our love for one another is more powerful than all the systems conspiring against us.